How can you be sure the code you deploy is both secure and high quality? Let's discover SonarQube, a free open source platform to continuously check the security and quality of your projects. Every time you push new updates to the monitored branch, SonarQube performs a complete scan of your code to detect potential security and quality issues. If your code fails to meet a set threshold, it can even block deployment, ensuring you address critical problems early and maintain high standards in production. Before exploring SonarQube and discovering its features, let's see the different options to start using it. You can use SonarQube Cloud version and their free tier for individual developers and open source project owners. You can also use their self-hosted community version up to 100,000 lines of code by following the server installation instructions on their documentation. Or you can use a platform like ours, Elestio, to deploy the self-hosted version on the cloud provider of your choice, while we take care of the installation, backups, updates, and maintenance for you. To start using SonarQube on our platform, head to ls.io and click on Login. Then deploy my first service, search for SonarQube and hit Select. Choose between the different cloud providers, regions, and service plans based on your need, and then Next. Adjust the different settings and choose your level of support. The first one is included by default, and hit Create Service. Once the installation is finished, you will receive an email. Follow the click here to get the password link. You arrive on your Elestio admin dashboard UI. Click on this icon to copy the password to your clipboard and access your instance by following the admin UI link. Then we need to enter our email address and password, paste it from your clipboard, and then log in. Because this is the first time someone logs in into this instance and we don't have any projects yet, we have a nice onboarding process to create our first project. You have the choice between using the most common Git providers, or you can do it manually. This is what we will do in this video, but remember that it's easier to use one of the integration. Let's click on manually and let's name our project. We will name it e-commerce and the project key will be automatically generated. Then what is the main branch on your repository? For this demo, we'll be using this repository named e-commerce from Coding for Entrepreneurs, no recent commits, and the code is in Python. We'll see if there are any issues on this repository. So first, to be able to add SonarQube to the cicd pipeline, we will need to fork it so I have it locally on my account. Okay, let's create the fork. Perfect. Now we have it and we can see the main branch is named master. So on SonarQube, we need to change main, which is the default for recent repositories, to master, which was the oldest default value. Then setup. Now we have the choice on how we want to analyze our repository. If we want to integrate it to our CI/CD with the different pipelines, or if we want to perform it manually, locally, or by creating jobs by ourselves. As we forked the repository on GitHub, the simplest solution is to use GitHub Actions. What I love about this platform is that each process is very well documented without having to go to the documentation. So we need to go to Settings and Secrets. Let's do it. Settings, on the left, Secrets, for Actions. In the name field, enter Sonar token, or click here, it will copy to the clipboard. We need to create a new repository secret. We paste the value for the key, and now for the value, generate a token. It's okay, we will say it expires in 30 days, it's not a problem, and we copy the value. Okay, continue, and we paste our token here and add secret. Then we have a second value to do, Sonar host URL, new secrets, Sonar host URL, and it is the URL of our SonarQube instance. It is pre-filled with our correct URL. We paste the value and add secret. Let's check we didn't miss a step, seems good, and then continue. Then what describe best our build, Maven, Gradle, .NET, in our case, none of them, or other. It includes Python, perfect, let's check it. Okay, now on our repository, we need to create a sonar project.properties file. Let's copy its name. Let's go to our project, so back to code, and to open the editor, we can use Shift dot. Perfect, we are in the online version of VS Code. Click on New File, paste the name of the file, enter. The content is here, copy, paste it here, save it. Then we need to update our repository. Go to the source control, add Sonar project properties, commit and push. Be sure that it's correctly added to your repository. And now we need to create a GitHub action if we don't have one to include the SonarQube check. We can see it's named build.yaml. We can prepare and copy the content, then head to actions. You have a few suggestions, but that's not today's topic, so set up a workflow yourself. We will name it build.yaml and paste the content. If we didn't do any mistake, it should be good. Click on commit changes and commit changes. So now we can head to actions. Our action should be running. Now it's building and doing everything that is in our GitHub action. Back to SonarQube, we can click on finish this tutorial and it's waiting to have the result of it. Seems it's almost finished. Perfect, every step's run. Now we have the results available on SonarQube. You can see that the quality gate status, which is the certain threshold, passed, so it's okay to deploy it to production. We'll see later that it's something we can adjust based on the overall code results we have. You will have a grade for each category: bugs, vulnerabilities, security hotspots, depth, code smells, to have a clear overview of what is going well or wrong on your project. Overall code is currently your project in what state it is, and you can switch to new code, which will do the difference between the previous version and the new version you pushed. But currently we only pushed one version, one analysis, so it's empty currently. So let's get back to it and let's head to bugs to see what we have. So 14 bugs, what are they? You have the list of the different bugs it detected, where it was detected, some more detail about what it is. You can open it. It will show you the exact line. So this page is a head without a title. If you don't understand it directly by what is displayed here, you can go to the rule itself to have a very well detailed explanation of what it is. Maybe this is a page that has no impact with the SEO, so it could be something you could ignore. While here it is detected as major. So let's say I'm not agree with it. We can say it's just minor. Or maybe you don't want to touch it at all. So you can say resolve as false positive or resolve as won't fix. We don't want to do anything, so it will remember it. This page is not used, so other people will have details about why we ignore this bug and comment. But this is a not very important issue. If we go back to overview, so first one bug disappeared. We only have 13 now. Let's go back and see vulnerabilities. And this one is very important. Make sure this AWS access key ID is not disclosed. It detected in our code that we have an AWS access key written directly, not read from the environment file. Well, actually it is reading from the environment file, but this is the default value. I don't know where this project nor the team, so maybe it's a fake key, but if it was not, this would be critical. So automatically detected as a blocker. But if it's not, and if it's a fake data value, you can do what we did before and say it's a false positive. But let's say it's a real one. So we can assign it to one member of our team. So currently we have only my account, administrator. We assign it. We have an estimate of the time it will take to do this fix. 30 minutes is pretty long, but I guess they don't know we have an environment variable we read. So if we would need to create the logic to load it, it could take 30 minutes. Once you're done, you can go back to your list, go to code smell, and maybe there are rules you would want to ignore because you have a ton of them and it's something you don't care too much. Here it's just a line of comment. Instead of going one by one and say it's false positive or won't fix, you can adjust the rules that will trigger things as detected, as vulnerabilities, as bugs. To do this, go to quality profiles, and by default, each language has a quality profile applied to it. So let's head to Python, as our project is in Python, and we can extend the default profile because we can't modify the default one. So let's extend it. And let's say Elestio profile. Extend. Now we have this profile that inherits SonarWay, so we are starting from there and not from scratch. Let's assign it to our current project. So the one without it, this is this project. Now we reload and it's assigned correctly, so we can close it and it's displayed in the project assigned to this profile. And now simply go on the top right, activate more rules, and here currently you can see all the rules that are not applied to our project. So you can browse them either by scrolling infinitely or by searching them. But let's say you don't want to activate new ones. You can go to currently the ones that are active on this profile and deactivate some that you would like to deactivate. And like we did earlier, if you click on a rule, you will have the detail and the explanation about what it is and what it will trigger it and what will trigger it. Let's go back to our project. So here's the list of all our projects. Go to e-commerce and you can see in security hotspots, we have a very bad grade. So let's open it to see what it is. The view is different to what we had with the list of issues. Here it's hotspot that we require to review manually because it is detected as very important. It's very well organized. Where is the risk? Displaying you the code. What is the risk? Explanation. Assess the risk, so how to do it, with a guide and explanations. Let's say you want to do something about it. Change status. And you can say acknowledge, which means this is an issue and you will do something about it. Then you can assign it to someone. Now we have reviewed almost 10% of what we need to review. Let's continue to do it. And let's say this one is not very important. Instead, you will change the status to safe. So it won't bother you again about something that is detected as safe. Change the status. And now we've done 20%. Let's go back to our project and you can see that we advanced a bit what we need to review, but we have still things to do. Then, because of the settings of this project, you can see that you have a lot of duplicated line of code, but let's open it to see why it's saying that. You can see here that we have the source file and the CDN file that are detected as duplicated. But I'm pretty sure that the CDN is the build, what is deployed, and we shouldn't count it as a duplicate. Maybe it shouldn't even be on the repository, I don't know. So if it is a mistake, you have a whole lot of controls to adjust it. Go to project settings, then general, head to analysis scope, and from here, you can add which file to exclude. In our case, it will be the CDN path, and you can use powerful regular expressions to match what should be included and excluded. You have a complete control on what to analyze. Now let's see what is measures. It shows you the state of your project. So currently everything is checked and it seems in a good state. On the vertical axis, it analyzes the coverage, and on the horizontal axis, the time it takes to fix the different things. But currently, we have mainly A things. Let's uncheck the A, and you can see the most critical things are here in this circle. The technical depth is only 5 minutes, but the importance of it is high. You click on it, and you directly see what is going on. And this is the leaked AWS access keys. Once you have properly configured your project and analyzed everything, what you can do is go to quality gates and determine when you allow a deployment to pass or not. Because by default, the CI/CD of a project means, okay, it compiles and the project is running, it works. But here with SonarQube, you can add a layer on top of that to check that you don't have critical problem, critical security vulnerabilities, and also code quality. You can see that by default, you have the Sonar way, like we did for the profiles. You can create different quality gates with different values for the coverage, the maintainability rating, or the other ones. This ensures your production is very safe. This is great for your projects, but it's also something that you could do for customer projects to have a very professional way to audit their code. On the top right, you can add as many projects as you want. And then don't forget to invite your team. Go to administration, then security, users. Here you can add all the users from your team or your customers. And you can also assign them to different groups that you can attach to different projects. As always, I recommend you to dive into the documentation for features that I didn't cover in this video. Thank you for watching, we hope you enjoyed discovering SonarQube with us. Please hit the like button to help our channel be more visible to other open source lovers. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss our next platform overviews. If you want to continue your open source journey, I recommend you watch this video, available here.